Sheila Toeplitz with Roll Call in Washington is very familiar on the New Hampshire political scene, and we're delighted to have one of Roll Call's finest joining us in New Hampshire today. Sheila, how you doing? Shira, I'm sorry, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me again, Jack.
No problem, Shira. And boy, you're in a busy place these days.
Yeah, it's a little hectic these days. A little hectic. This thing that rhymes with schmelzcare. Big deal now.
Yeah, and well, I want to get to the Senate race that's shaping up here in New Hampshire with you, but let me start with the health care because I know you're not principally assigned to that subject, but it's dominating the mediascape, the political landscape. Today, Senior Senator Judd Gregg said that even though the Senate Finance Committee failed to pass a public version of health care, Senator Gregg predicts in the end some version of public health care will pass as part of the bill. Is that your sense down there?
I think there'll be some element of that. It won't be as robust as a lot of the liberal Democrats on the committee even had hoped. Tom Harkin, I think he wanted a robust public option. It's not going to be like that, but there'll probably be some element to the final bill. Then again, we have no idea what's really going to go into this final bill until we see it, until it's hammered out in the conference committee, which won't be several weeks from now.
We had on last Thursday Congressman Mike Burgess from Texas. He's a Republican, but he's also a doctor. And he was making some points that, from a media point of view, I don't think are getting through no matter where you stand on this complicated subject in terms of support or opposed position. But he was talking about just the unprecedented feedback he was getting from constituents who were upset when he went back during the August recess. And he says that now that members are back in Washington, he questions if some members of Congress actually heard all those protests. Do you sense Congress is connected with where the American people are on this issue or not?
I think they actually got a pretty good wake-up call when they went back home in August. I mean, those 4 weeks when they left Washington and they went home, and it wasn't just one senator or one congressman who was harassed or yelled at or confronted in a town hall meeting. It was several. And it was, it didn't matter if you were in a conservative district or a liberal district or if your politics matched the district well or not. Everyone was getting feedback. Everyone. I think that's hard to forget. I talked to a couple of pollsters recently, and this is kind of an insider angle, but some of your listeners might find this interesting. I've talked to a couple of pollsters recently who say that members of Congress, Democrats, who have never before been scared about their reelection, have come to him saying, after August recess, will you poll my district and see how they're feeling? Because they are scared about the feedback they just heard. So while you might not see that in the legislation on the floor, they're definitely scared. And these pollsters have never had these kinds of clients before.
You're listening to Shira Toeplitz with Roll Call. Shira, I saw, of course, Frank Luntz, the Republican pollster, is out with his new book, but there have been polls in the last week or so that just show overall horrendous public support numbers towards Congress. In other words, the disapproval towards Congress is, I don't know if it's unprecedented, but it's pretty high.
Right, and there's the old adage, hate Congress but love your congressman. That's not true anymore. That used to be true. That was true even through last cycle. People used to just rate Congress as a whole terribly, but give high marks to their own member of Congress. In New Hampshire, obviously, that's Representative Carol Shea Porter and Representative Paul Hodes. Now that's not the case. Even the personal approval ratings have really sunk.